Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayana Namaskritya
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Narancheva Narottamam
Deving Saraswatim Vyasam
Deving Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jaya Mudiraya
Tato Jaya Mudira
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Adreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki.
Srimad Bhagavatam, what's the verse today?
191.
1. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 9, text 1. This chapter is entitled as The Passing Away of Bhishma Dev in the Presence of Lord Krishna. Text 1. Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Iti
Iti
Bhitaha
Vitaha
Praja
Praja
Droha
Droha
Sarva
Sarva
Dharma
Dharma
Vivitsaya
Vivitsaya
Tato
Tato
Vinashanam
Vinashanam
Pragad
Pragad
Yatra
Yatra
Devabrato
Devavrato
Apatat.
Apada
Iti Shri Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Iti Bhita Prajadroha
Iti Vita Prajadroha
Iti Bhita Prajadroha
Iti Vita Prajadroha
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Yatra Deva Pratopata
Yatra Deva Pratopata
Yatra Deva Pratopata
Yatra Deva Pratopata
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Iti Bhita Prajadroha
Iti Vita Prajadroha
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Sarvadharma Vivitsaya
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Tato Vinashanam Praga
Yatra Deva Pratopata.
Yatra Deva Pratopata
Sutta Uvacha Sri Sutta Goswami said, Iti, thus, Bhitaha, being afraid of, Prajadroha, because of killing the subjects, Sarva, all, Dharma, acts of religion, Bibatsaya, for understanding, Tata, thereafter, Vinashanam, the place where the fight was held, Pragad, he went, Jatra, where, Devavrata, Bhishma Dev, Apatat, lay down for passing away. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Sutta Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir went to the scene of the massacre. There, Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows, about to pass away. Please repeat after me. Sutta Goswami said,
Sutta Goswami said,
being afraid for having killed so many subjects
being afraid for having killed so many subjects
on the battlefield of Kurukshetra,
on the battlefield of Kurukshetra,
Maharaj Yudhishthir went
Maharaj Yudhishthira went
to the scene of the massacre.
to the scene of the massacre.
There,
There,
Bhishma Dev
Bhishma Dev
was lying on a bed of arrows,
was lying on a bed of arrows,
about to pass away.
about to pass away.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this ninth chapter, ninth chapter, as it is willed by Lord Shri Krishna, Bhishma Dev will impart instructions to King Yudhishthir on the subject of occupational duties. Bhishma Dev will also offer his last prayer to the Lord on the verge of passing away from this mortal world, and thus become liberated from the bondage of further material engagements. Bhishma Dev was endowed with the power of leaving his material body at will, and his lying down on the bed of arrows was his own choice. The passing away of the great warrior attracted the attention of all the contemporary elites, and all of them assembled there to show their feelings of love, respect, and affection for the great soul. Sutta Vacha iti bhita prajadrohat sarvadharma vivatsaya tato vinashanam pragad jatra deva prato papat. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir went to the scene of the massacre. There Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows about to pass away. So the Kurukshetra battle, Kurukshetra war of Kurukshetra, battle of Kurukshetra was over, and many people, lakhs and lakhs of soldiers died in that battle. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj is such a noble, such a generous person that he was holding himself responsible for the massacre of all these soldiers. Practically in this battle, excepting just a handful, everyone was killed. There were 18 Akshohini plus 11 Akshohini. No, 11, 7 and 11, 18 total. There were 18 Akshohini soldiers. Kaurava side had 11 Akshohini and Pandava side had 7 Akshohini. Total there were 18 Akshohini soldiers. And one Akshohini is something like 600,000 soldiers. The chariots, elephants, horses with cavalry, and foot soldiers, all put together, it's roughly about 630,000 warriors, multiplied by 18. So almost 15 lakhs people, soldiers, they were all warriors, consisting of so many generals and valiant warriors, like here we are seeing Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Ashwatthama, Karna. They were Maharathis. They all died, along with so many other soldiers. All the kings assembled there with their army. Only a handful survived in that battle, at the end of the battle. The 5 Pandavas, Ashwatthama, Kripacharya, and Ashwatthama, Kripacharya, and he is actually from Jadu dynasty. Anyway, so just a handful of them survived. Everyone was dead. The battle was won. Pandavas actually won the battle. And that night, when after long 18 days of constant fighting practically, they were sleeping at night. And at that time, they came Ashwatthama, Kripacharya, and Kritavarma, that's right. Yeah, Kritavarma. Three of them came. And that night, Ashwatthama was blessed by Lord Shiva that he will be invincible. Nobody will be able to kill him. And so he went. First, he actually killed 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas, Draupadi's 5 sons. Yeah. Little boys, 16, 17-year-old. Killed them, and he started to. He killed Drishtadumna, because Drishtadumna killed Dronacharya, his father. And then he went and killed those sleeping. They all were sleeping. But then when they woke up, they were unarmed, and Ashwatthama started to kill them. Those who tried to run away, at the gateway there was Kritavarma and Kripacharya. They started to kill them. So everyone was massacred. Only by Krishna's arrangement, Pandavas were away. So, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, although he was not willing to fight like Arjuna, they were ready to make a peace. Duryodhana said, "We won't give you your kingdom back. You fight. Without fighting, I'm not going to give you the kingdom." Because he was so confident that he was going to win the battle. Because Pandavas, what they had, they were for 13 years, for 12 years they were living in a forest, and for 1 year they were incognito, so that nobody could recognize them. So after 13 years they come back and asked for the rightful kingdom. But Duryodhana refused. No, I won't give it to you. If you want, you fight and get it. And everyone tried to stop that battle. Duryodhana was advised. All the elders of the family, Bhishma Dev, Gandhari, his mother, then Dronacharya, all the elderly, even Vasudev came, tried to persuade him not to fight this battle. Even Maitreya Rishi came, that he would listen to anybody. Then finally Krishna came with an amazing proposal. Okay, don't give the kingdom. Just give them 5 villages. Just give them 5 villages. They'll be happy with that. But Duryodhana said no. Without a battle, I'm not going to give them a piece of land the size of the tip of the needle. The Bengali translation of that is Bina juddhe nahi divo suchagra medini. Without war, I'm not going to give. Without battle, Bina juddhe, without battle, I'm not going to give. The medini means as earth, the size of the tip of the needle. So, and not only that, at that time he wanted to arrest Krishna. He thought, well, Krishna is alone. He came to our assembly, so he thought that he will arrest Krishna. And if he thought if he could arrest Krishna, if Krishna is not with the Pandavas won't have any strength. Krishna was alone, just Satyaki was there with him. He was driving the chariot. He didn't even come inside, he was outside. But Krishna showed his universal form at that time. And everyone ran away. And so the battle, this Kurukshetra war was inevitable. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is so kind that he is thinking that because of him all this happened. He was holding himself responsible. Because he was the king. He became the king. It's in order to make him the king, this battle actually took place. And in that battle, so many soldiers, whoever participated, died. Prajadroha. Prajadrohat. Praja means subjects, and drohat means killing. So because he became responsible for killing of all the soldiers, all the warriors. And so he decided to go to the place where the battle took place, Kurukshetra. And there Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows. Bhishma Dev had the benediction of Ichha Mrittu. He would die only when he would want to die. Otherwise, he was immortal. His father, King Shantanu, gave him the benediction. Bhishma Dev made a terrible vow in order to fulfill the desire of his father. His father became attracted to a very beautiful girl, Satyavati. And so she was the daughter of the king of the fishermen. So Shantanu approached her and she said, "Look, if you want to marry me, then go and ask my father." So he went and asked the father. And the father said, "Okay, I can let you marry my daughter, provided her children, her son would become the successor to the throne." And he actually made that condition because Satyavati's horoscope said that her son would become the king. So that's why he wanted to make sure that, okay, if you want to marry my daughter, then her son has to become the king. So King Shantanu said that, well, I have already a son and who is already recognized as a crown prince, my successor. So it's not possible for me to fulfill that condition. So then the Dhivararaj, the king of the Dhibar means fisherman, said, well, then he can't marry my daughter. So Shantanu went back, heartbroken. And Bhishma was his father's very close companion. So Bhishma saw and asked, "Father, what happened? Something wrong that you were looking so depressed?" But he said, "No, nothing is wrong. It's all right." So Bhishma then asked the chariot driver, "Tell me what happened." So the chariot driver told him everything. That while hunting in the forest, your father actually smelled some beautiful fragrance. And following the fragrance, he came to the bank of the Ganges. And there he saw this beautiful girl who is taking the passengers across the river, rowing the boat, taking the passengers across the river. So Shantanu became attracted to her beauty, extremely beautiful girl. So that's why he approached and he told that how her father refused to offer the daughter to the king. So Bhishma said, and because he had this condition that her daughter has to become the king. So Bhishma said, okay. At that time his name was not Bhishma, at that time his name was Devabrata. So he says, come, take me to that place. So Bhishma went, met the king of the fishermen. And the king of the fishermen, he told, look, my father wants to marry your daughter. Consider that this is such a good fortune for your daughter. She's going to get married to the king. And he said, well, I know, but the thing is that my condition is that her son has to become the king. So Bhishma said, okay, I am foregoing, I am promising that I won't claim the kingdom. I will not become the king. Yes, your daughter's son will become the king. Then this fisherman king was very intelligent. He said, okay, you are sacrificing your claim over the throne, but what about your children? They will, in course of time, they will probably claim the kingdom and there will be fight. There will be a war. So then Bhishma said, okay, I promise I won't get married. There's no consideration of my son, because I'm not going to get married. So it is such a terrible vow that he took, that he'll never get married for the sake of his father, for the sake of fulfilling his father's desire. So the demigods started to shower flowers. And they kept on saying, Bhishma, Bhishma. What a terrible vow he has taken. And that's how he got the name Bhishma. So now we can see how man wants one thing and how destiny arranges things. He wanted that, Devaraj wanted that Satyavati's son would become the king. And yes, she gave birth to two sons, Vichitravirja and Chitrangad. Chitrangad was the older. So Chitrangad got into a fight with the king of the Gandharvas, whose name was also Chitrangad. So in one hand, Chitrangad's glory was spreading all over. And this king of the Gandharva, Chitrangad, also is a very famous person. So he challenged him, Chitrangad, said that look, there should be just one Chitrangad. Otherwise people will get confused. Your glory, my glory, I don't want it. There should be just one person to claim the glory. So they had a battle. They fought. And in that battle, Chitrangad died. And Vichitravirja also got tuberculosis and he died. Charu. So He wanted that her sons would become the king. Yes, they became the king. But for how long? But Chitrangada got married to two beautiful daughters of the king of Kashi. Ambika, and Ambalika. Amba had three daughters. Bhishma actually went and claimed those three daughters for his brother. But Amba already gave her heart to, was it Jayadrath? Anyway, one of the Shalva, he gave her heart to Shalva. So when she told Bhishma that she has given her heart to Shalva, Bhishma said, okay, go to him. But Shalva is inimical to Bhishma. They are demoniac side. So he was envious of Bhishma. And also Bhishma took away these three girls at the Sayambara when they were about to select their husbands. And Shalva was waiting to win Amba. But this time when Amba went, Shalva said, no, go back. I don't want to take somebody's remnants. And so Amba came back to Bhishma, said, this is what happened. And she said, you marry me. Bhishma said, I took a vow not to get married. She said, when you took me by my hand, pulled me into the chariot of yours, that the act of holding me by my hand indicates that you accepted me. So you have to marry me. Bhishma said, look, I took a vow and I can't break my vow. So Amba then went to Parashuram, Bhishma's guru, and told him. Actually, she went to Parashuram through her grandfather, who was Parashuram's friend. So she went to her grandfather and said, okay, let me see what I can do. Bhishma is the disciple of Parashuram, and Parashuram is a friend of mine. So maybe he'll listen to his guru's advice to marry you. So she went to Parashuram and cried, and so Parashuram said, okay, I'll go and speak to him. I'll ask him to marry you. So Parashuram went to tell Bhishma, you get married to this girl. Bhishma said, I've taken a vow not to marry anyone. That may be, but I am your guru, I'm telling you to marry. Bhishma said, no, I can't break my promise. So Parashuram got very angry. He said, I'm your guru, I'm telling you to do that. So Bhishma said, if a guru gives advice which is not appropriate, then he should be rejected. Gurura pavaliptasya karja karjam ajanata utpatha pratipannasya gurureva parityag. So Parashuram became very upset. So he challenged Bhishma to a fight. So Bhishma fought with Parashuram. No one could defeat each other. Parashuram is an incarnation of the Lord, empowered incarnation. But Bhishma at the same time is so powerful. So the battle went on for a long time. Finally Parashuram told him, Bhishma, I am very pleased with you. Ask for a benediction. Bhishma said, okay, if you want to give me a benediction, then stop fighting. So Parashuram stopped fighting. the person went and told, look, I tried my best, but it didn't work. So better forget about getting married to him. So then Amba, in order to take revenge, to kill Bhishma, she entered into fire, gave up her body. So this is how Bhishma actually became immortal due to his. And yeah, when Shantanu, Bhishma went to Shantanu, King Shantanu, his father, with Satyavati, whom he wanted to marry. So his father, when he heard everything, he was so pleased. He said, I give you the boon, I give you the benediction that you will never die unless you want to die. Benediction of Ichamritu, willful death. Only when you will desire to die, you will die. So this is how Bhishma actually became immortal in a way. And that's what he's saying here, like Bhishma would not die. So Arjun was shooting arrows at him. He put so many arrows, the arrows actually went through Bhishma's body, came out from the other side. And finally Bhishma fell out of his chariot. So when he fell out of his chariot, then he fell on a bed of arrows. His body didn't touch the ground because all those arrows actually made like a bed. So this is how Bhishma Dev is lying in the bed of arrows, and he was waiting for Uttarayan, when the sun will take its northern course. Because at that time, when one leaves his body during the Uttarayan time, his soul or the subtle body goes to the higher planetary systems. And when the sun is in Dakshinayan, in the southern course, then one goes to the lower planetary systems. So Bhishma was waiting for Uttarayan, but actually Bhishma was waiting for Krishna to come. And Krishna came. Prior to that, Bhishma gave some beautiful advice to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and then looking at Krishna, praying, offering prayers to Krishna, beautiful prayers Bhishma actually offered. That show me that form of yours when you, like a lion, charged towards me. Your hair had the color of saffron due to the dust from the soil, from the dust from the battlefield. You picked up that wheel of a broken chariot. And that chariot, broken wheel of the chariot, was the Sudarshan Chakra. Became in your hand, it became Sudarshan Chakra, and you are coming towards me. And I started to offer prayers to you. So please reveal that form of yours to me. In this way, praying to Krishna, Bhishmadev left his body. So through Mahabharata, you get to see such great warriors, such great heroes, such wonderful devotees. So that's how the Vedic scriptures are so important. By hearing or reading the Vedic scriptures, the anecdotes that are, or records, not anecdotes, just records that have been registered in those scriptures give us an understanding of what advanced civilization we used to have those days. Such great personalities. And when we hear about them, then we also become uplifted because we naturally become inclined to follow their examples. So here, this chapter will describe Bhishma Dev's passing away in front of Krishna. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Does anybody have any question? Yes.
How come Shantanu was able to give the benediction of immortality unless he desired to pass away when even Hiranyakashipu could not?
Because they're such exalted personalities. Because they're very exalted personalities. And also, it is not only Shantanu that gave that benediction. Narad Muni also received that benediction. When the thing is that when Bhishma decided for a lifelong celibacy, that celibacy actually causes one to become immortal. Similarly, when Narad Muni also refused the proposal of Kalkanya, the daughter of time, approached him to marry her. He declined, and then he got that benediction also that he will never die. So that is the advantage of celibacy. When a man takes the vow of celibacy, then one doesn't die unless one himself wants to. They conquer death. So he actually knew that because he took the vow, that will be the outcome. So that's how he kind of gave the benediction. So, any other question? Yes?
Guru Maharaj, Bhishma Dev said to Parashuram that if Guru gives an inappropriate advice, then Guru can be rejected. Is a disciple empowered to judge Guru's?
If the Guru, as it is saying, if the Guru doesn't know, karja karjam ajanata, doesn't know what to do and what not to do, then he is not acting as a Guru. Yes? Like, here we can see these examples are there in the scriptures. The Guru can be rejected. It's not that and certain condition, certain situation.
But is a disciple empowered with the knowledge to
Not
decide?
empowered, like say for example, you go to study something from somebody. And if you see that that person doesn't know the subject, right? Then what do? Still you stick to him? No. Because he doesn't know the subject. So why should I study under him? That is the attitude. But it should be done very carefully, not just, only a person like Bhishma can do that.
Very good.
Not any Tom, Dick and Harry can do that. Okay. Thank you very much. Today, Jayadvaita Maharaj is coming. He'll come at 2 o'clock. He'll arrive around 2 o'clock. And he'll stay for a few days. So we're very fortunate that he's coming and will have his association. So everyone take advantage of his association. Tomorrow, Sunday feast also. I told Maharaj that maybe for tomorrow we can have a Sunday feast. And
Evening class also.
yeah, we can, yeah. Sunday feast will be what, in the morning, noon or evening?
12:30 to.
Okay, 12:30, and then devotees can be invited. Yeah, you wanted to say something? Yeah, you raised your hand? Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, suppose that you and others growing up in India, you hear the Mahabharata. I'm wondering about the Shruti Vedas. When did, or do, what is the story of the Shruti, the Rig, the Sama and all that? Why do we not hear that?
Shruti is actually the entire Vedas are actually Shruti. And basically those are the process of, chanting mantras to please the demigods. Karma Kanda section is that. Basically like Sham is, and Rig, Sham, these are all mantras, not narrating incidents. But Mahabharata and Ramayana, they are narrating the incidents, history. Mahabharata is actually history. So you can, in simple words, you can say the difference between history and philosophy. Right? In history, you get the narration of happenings, whereas the philosophy is, like the process of thinking. Okay, Hare Krishna, glories to Srila Prabhupada.